Hello, back to a new video. Today we're going to let ChatGPT decide what we're going to do as a video because I'm kind of out of ideas. 3 weeks of Great League. What are we going to do today? Let's see. We're going to do top 10 best Pokemon to use in the Great League in Pokemon Go. That's going to be a ton of work. Thanks, ChatGPT, that's amazing. This video could showcase the top 10 best Pokemon for the Great League, including their strength, weaknesses, movesets, and how to effectively use them in battles. Let's go right into it. So now we're going to start to rank all the top 10 best Pokemon to use here, and I'm gonna give you some examples in terms of teams and good cores with those Pokemon. First off, we're going to have Sableye, which is going to be ranked 19 actually in PvPoke. Kinda lost some value with the recent addition of Noctowl into the Great League meta, so this is a little bit worse now, but still one of the best save swaps in this meta in general. Kinda gains more popularity recently again in some teams. We have some good Pokemon to use with it, like the Azumarill or some Steel types, and we have the example team of Azumarill, the Sableye, and also the Trevenant. You see the preferred moveset there on the screen. You can also use the Shadow version, which has more use right now in Show 6 format, because you can flip a lot of lead matchups, which is really important to RPS the opponent later on. But otherwise, a very expensive Pokemon to build, but still very decent to use. Number 9 going to be a Swampert here. Also a Pokemon that recently kinda dropped a little bit in the rating, even though it is still a very strong Pokemon. Here, rank 4 in PvPoke. The ranking itself doesn't really say too much. This is also my own opinion, of course, on the tier list. You can have different opinions. If you have a different opinion, please let me know in the comment section here. We're going to have good Pokemon together with us, usually flying types. You have a 4-time weakness against grass type Pokemon, so you want to have flying types on your team with this Pokemon here to counter those. So something like Pelipper, the Skarmory, Altaria, or Noctowl is very good with it. And we're going to have the team here that I also showcased twice already on my channel as one of the best teams here on PvPoke as well, which is going to be Swampert, Double Flyer. You could also use different flyers like Altaria in the back. A little bit weak against some ice type Pokemon with that team, but it's definitely still a very good team to use. For the number 8, we're going to have Altaria here, which is ranked 11 on PvPoke. One of the coolest Pokemon still to use in the current meta, in my opinion, a little bit underrated right now. Pokemon that you kind of want to use with it. Definitely some Steel types that can beat other Steel types, like the Registeel as well as the Galarian Stunfisk, as those also can handle Ice type Pokemon very well with that, as well as like Fairy types, as well as Dragon types. So those Pokemon are really something that can help you with that. So we're going to have a team here that I actually showcased, I think, in the beginning of season 11, which I think still works, with the Altaria in the lead, Water Gun version of the Lantern as a save swap. Usually, by the way, on the right side, the second Pokemon is always your save swap. And then we're going to have the Registeel in the back to hopefully clean up. You're going to see here weaknesses on the screen as well. It's a pretty cheap Pokemon to build at least, but you kind of want to have Moonblast on it, which is something you need an elite term for, but very cool Pokemon to use in the current meta. A Pokemon that we just had on the team as well, going to be Registeel, ranked at 7 here for me on my list. It's rank 1 on PvPoke. The thing is, PvPoke basically calculates with a very consistent Zap Cannon debuff there, which is something that, at least in my thing when I tried this Pokemon, I never really got this consistently. So yeah, in my opinion, it's a little bit overrated on PvPoke, but it's definitely a Pokemon that you really want to use. It's coming back in raids soon as well, so try to get one. Here you see the Pokemon that are good with it, Pokemon that basically destroy something like the Medicham, which is your hardest answer kinda. So those are really good. And you see on the team, on the right side, the team with the Pelipper, the save swap of the Galarian Stunfisk, and also the Registeel as a closer, which is a very cool team to use, as you can bait out the Medicham with your Stunfisk and hopefully sweep endgame with your Registeel here. Very good Pokemon still to use, comes up a little bit more commonly recently again, but still not the best Steel type here around. The next Pokemon going to be Trevenant. This Pokemon can be a little bit tricky to use, as we have Noctowl and other flying types in the meta currently, which completely hard-walled, especially Noctowl. You cannot do anything against it. But as soon as you get it into a different matchup, this Pokemon is amazing. It's one of the only Pokemon that can break the Medicham plus Steel type core here. And if you see the team on the right side, it might be familiar with the team that I showcased earlier this season as well. Very good team to use. Here the save swap is Medicham with Ice Punch, trying to bait out the potential Noctowl to still get a shield advantage, and then it can align later your Trevenant against whatever they have in the bag. Usually they don't run Double Flyer. So this is a very cool team as well, really enjoyed it, and we can go directly into the next Pokemon. The 5th Pokemon here going to be Lantern on my list. This Pokemon is very interesting, as you're going to be able to break the flying plus also the core kinda with Bastion. You're going to be able to beat Bastion and Noctowl together, which is really cool in the current meta. As well as you have some very neutral matchups against, for example, the Medicham, as well as also against the Altaria if you run Spark, which is cool. But yeah, this Pokemon itself, very nice since it got Surf, has a very good moveset, has a very good typing, is pretty bulky and pretty accessible as well. You don't need XL Candy for it at all. And here you see the team on the right side. This is a team that got to rank 1 on the leaderboards for Pokemon Go. I showcase this team already on my channel. If you want to see some gameplay for it, just look on my channel for this team. And otherwise, yeah, we can go to the 4th place for my tier list now. The next Pokemon is most likely the most hated Pokemon for the Great League, which is going to be Bastiodon. Here, Bastiodon is such a tank. This Pokemon needs to be fully XL. And the overall stat product that you can see here on the screen as well, if you see like stats, is 2762, which is insanely strong. This is so bulky compared to anything else. Smackdown is a fast move that does a lot of damage. You have Stone Edge and Flamethrower that gives you some good coverage. It just completely destroys any flying type Pokemon. You can even win against a Azumarill with it. Every neutral matchup, you basically win with this Pokemon, either in the 2 shields or like in any other shield scenario as well. So like this Pokemon is very strong in those scenarios. The only thing that really holds it down is its typing, as it's weak to something like Galarian, Stunfisk, Medicham, Swampert. All of those Pokemon can really beat it hard, but otherwise this Pokemon is insanely strong still. You see on the right side a team that you don't really want to face usually. We have the Seisorp actually of a Victory Bell or the Medicham, really depends on what you want to run. Both of them are fine. You kind of want to have the Shadow Victory Bell though here, which is kind of important, but still a very good Pokemon, and we can go to the top 3. The 3rd place goes to basically the most common Pokemon nowadays as well, which is going to be Noctowl. Noctowl is just so strong. It's just so neutral against everything. Like there's not really a Pokemon which can come into this thing other than Bastiodon really, which it can completely like hardwall. Yes, you have like Registeel, which is also pretty decent, and you have Lantern, which is both really decent matchups, but still Shadow Ball going to hurt them over a long period of time. So this thing is so strong, especially if you give them some energy advantage. Now, since Wing Attack got buffed and gives you more energy, this thing is basically everywhere, and it deserves to be everywhere because it's just so strong. Another thing is, this is pretty easy to build. It's very cheap to build. You don't need XL for it. It's 10k to unlock the second charge move, so it's something that really starter like who want to start really with Go Battle League need to use. This Pokemon is so strong right now. You see the example team on the right side here. Actually, you use the Noctowl as a Seisorp here to bait out potential Galarian Stunfisk basically mainly with that Pokemon. And then you can try to sweep endgame here with the Lantern. Lantern plus Medicham core is a very good core, as the Lantern can deal with the flying types. Very strong team altogether. Like you see the good cores together as well on the left side. It's just a very strong Pokemon. Right now, it's everywhere. Second place goes also to the second place on PvP Poke, which is going to be the Galarian Stunfisk. This Pokemon is, compared to Registeel, just a little bit better just because of the bait move there, Rock Slide, which helps it out a lot against flying types as well. Of course, you have Zapkin on the other one, but you just get to Rock Slide faster, and you will be able to also win in some scenarios where you kind of need to bait the opponent to get some extra energy, basically advantage there, to then go for Earthquake. This Pokemon itself is so versatile. It's basically on every team for competitive teams as well. It's just so strong. Sadly, I don't really have a good one for them, so it's kind of awkward to play with it. But if you have a good one, definitely build one. Here are some good Pokemon to combine them with. Very strong. All Pokemon basically resist the move counter, or like good against fighting types. That's why they're in there. And we have the example team here, which has been around for ages, of the Galarian Stunfisk, the Sableye to bait out potential Noctowls, and then the Venusaur on the back, where you can also run something like a Trevenant in the back there. Very strong team. And let's go into the top Pokemon here, in my opinion, rank 1 for my tier list. Let's see. Of course, the number 1 for this tier list has to be Medicham. This Pokemon is just insanely strong. It's on basically every team for play Pokemon tournaments because it just has the best coverage, counters so much damage, it's such a good typing. There's just no better fighter out there. It beats all the steel types, beats all the normal types, has coverage against flying types with the Ice Punch. If you need to build a Pokemon that's overpowered, this is the Pokemon you want to build. I don't see them ever really nerfing this unless they nerf counter. So this Pokemon is insanely strong to use right now, and it just, in my opinion, the best Pokemon for Great League. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this tier list. Which Pokemon did I miss? Which Pokemon did I put in the wrong place there? We're going to also see still the example team on the right side. You can also use the Noctowl instead of the Bastiodon if you want to have a cheaper version of this team, which is actually a pretty decent team to build there, which I'm also might showcase somewhere in the future. But yeah, this Pokemon is the best in my opinion. Let me know in the comment section if I should do this as well for the other leagues like Ultra League. If you're at 500 likes on this video, I will do the same video basically for the Ultra League as well. So you decide, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.